friends. If you can hear me, please mark in the comments that you can hear me fine. I'm using um, that new internet box from Verizon, and hopefully it'll work out just great. It's behind Just Be You. Today, we are going to be talking about Atomic Habits, Chapter 3. And Chapter 3 is pretty awesome. Chapter 3 is about how to build better habits in 4 simple steps. Yay! Mega Losing says hi. Hi, Mega Losing. So glad to have you. And I hope you read Chapter 3 of Atomic Habits. It is pretty awesome. And I'm interested to hear what you are thinking. So everybody who is on this live, especially while it's live, go ahead and start typing your thoughts of what you thought about Chapter 3 of Atomic Habits. I am currently on Mounjaro. I am on week number 15 on Mounjaro. I usually go live on Mondays, which I call Mounjaro Mondays. And that's when I give my shot, and I give my shot live, and I share side effects and any tips and tricks that have been helping me that week. I share, and I also answer questions during those lives as well. This one's a little bit different because we're doing a book study, because Atomic Habits is an amazing book. And it can help you in all stages of your life and all things in your life, including doing a healthy lifestyle journey. And last week in Chapter 2, we talked about how your habits create your identity. And if you want your identity to be different and to be even better than you currently are, you can make changes, and you can make changes with your habits, and you can decide, what identity do you want to have? And I want to have the identity of a healthy person. And so I want to do as many healthy lifestyle habits as I can. And James Clear talked about in his first chapter that even if you make a 1% change, 1%, just try to be 1% better every day, that at the end of the year, if you were 1% better each day, you'd be 37 times better, because all those 1%, they compound daily, kind of like how interest can compound daily at the bank. Same thing with your habits, and it can make a giant, so a little change, when they're stacked on top of each other, turn into atomic habits, where your life can just get better like this. All of a sudden, all of the pieces will come together and will make a big difference. And right now, those of you that are on a Mounjaro, Zepbound, Ozempic, Wegovy, or any new, if you're watching this in the future, any new medications, or I don't know, if you're just really wonderful doing Weight Watchers or whatever, and you're not taking medication, Atomic Habits will still help you. And this will still help you as well. But those of us in 2024, today's date is, what is today? April 28th? April 28th, 2024. And right now, in this moment of time, those of us who are taking Mounjaro is for type 2 diabetes. Zepbound is for people who struggle with being extremely overweight. These medications are life-saving, but they're hard to find, and we're running into shortages. We're running into having to have lapses without being able to take our shot. And so it's putting us in some stressful times, trying to create habits, trying to get on a really great healthy lifestyle journey. I know for me, with type 2 diabetes, my blood sugar's lower, my cholesterol went down by a whole bunch. And so if I can't get my medication for a few weeks at a time, I want to be sure I don't lose any of the momentum I've gained on my healthy lifestyle journey. And I am sure I can help with that by putting together some habits for myself. And today we're going to be going over chapter 3, which is going to tell us how to build better habits in 4 simple steps. And I'm super excited to hear, for those of you who have read chapter 3, what did you think about it? And did it make you think about something you're going to do differently this week because you read those 4 simple steps? And I'm going to share with you what I'm doing differently. And I'm making, and some of these are just little changes, little 1% change that I'm doing right now based on what I read in chapter 3 and building on chapter 1 and chapter 2 as well. And I'm going to read, usually when I do my lives on Mounjaro Mondays, I usually have something that I'm going to share about Mounjaro or Zepbound or my weight loss or whatever. And I do all that piece in the beginning, and then I read all the comments. But it's different doing a book study. So I am going to be reading your comments every couple of minutes or so. So that way we can have a dialogue about chapter 3 of Atomic Habits. And I'm going to start right now and just read what we have here right this minute. Mega Losing says, hi. Maxie's here. Yay! She says, hi, Gina. Me and my daughter, I'm not sure how to pronounce her name, Freya, are here in the UK. Yay, Maxie. And I changed my time. I usually, or the first 2 weeks, we met at 5 o'clock Arizona time, which was 1 in the morning in the UK. And it was too hard for my friend Maxie to be able to show up, 1 in the morning. That's pretty early. It'd be hard to be that committed. And so I'm trying something new and trying to come on at 1 o'clock Arizona time this Sunday. And if you all like having it on Sunday afternoons, late evening, or 9 o'clock in the evening, if you're in the UK, if this time works for you, we can keep it. And unless I have company in town or something, because 1 in the afternoon isn't always the easiest for me. But you know what? It's so cool. YouTube is a global world of friends, and we have friends in the UK watching us now. And if anyone's from Australia, I also heard you can get Mounjaro in Australia as well. So if you're wherever you are from, if you're from Texas or Louisiana, California, wherever you are, let me know that too in the comments, because that's really exciting to hear where everybody's coming from. And together we could do the same book study, which is pretty cool. All right, let's see. So I left off that Mitzi made it. Yay, I'm so excited. And let's see. And Freya says, hello, Gina. Hi, Freya. And Mecca Losing says, I think, craving being the problem. Cueing the craving could be the problem, and habit reward being the solution is a great way to look at our behaviors. Oh my gosh. Yes, Mega Losing. And Mega Losing also says, making things obvious or hide the habits you don't want. Okay, this is one I learned the first time I read this book. I read it during the pandemic, and I do remember now when my brother, Mike Struzzi, gave me this book. It was when he came out for my daughter's wedding, and she got married October 17th of 2020. And this book was amazing. I had just that week gotten diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and on October 13th, so 4 days before Alexis's wedding. And when my brother came out, he gave me a copy of this book, and he read it himself and thought it was incredibly awesome. And I started right then on a journey that helped me to lose 47 pounds without using medications. And it worked out great for me until gosh, I don't know, 7, 8 months later, whenever July was, July of 2021, went on a family vacation, and I was trying to get 50 pounds lost by the vacation, and I made it to 47, and then I gained 11 pounds in 7 or 8 days during the vacation. And then it kind of made me fall off the wagon because I went back to all my bad habits, and it made it harder for me to crave the good habits to get back in the zone again. But one of the things I did is something that Mega Losing's talking about, making things obvious or hide habits you don't want. That was talked about in chapter 3. And one of the things I did is Jeff and we love chocolate covered almonds, and we get a big bucket of it at Costco. And we used to keep it in our pantry. And so every time we went into the pantry, even if I'm cooking dinner and I'm going in the pantry to get, I don't know, spaghetti sauce or something else off the shelf, I could see the chocolate almonds. And when I would see it, that would give me a cue. Oh, chocolate almonds, which when I'd see it would immediately give me a craving. Oh man, chocolate almonds, maybe just a couple. That would taste so good right now. And then my response, because that cued the craving, then my response would be to open the jar, take in, 2 or 3 chocolate almonds, put the lid back on, and then my reward was, oh man, that tasted so good, and it scratched that craving, which I wouldn't have had because I wasn't hungry. I went in there to get spaghetti sauce to make dinner or something, or a can of green beans, but I saw the cue of the chocolate almonds. And so now I still keep chocolate almonds in the house because you know what? It's better than eating an entire Snickers bar or a giant bowl of ice cream. One chocolate almond is 14 calories, which isn't horrible. So if I truly have a chocolate craving and just want just a little something to go on top of my, I don't know, sometimes when I have spicy Mexican food, I like to have just a little something sweet at the end. And it could be 3 almonds could do it for me, which would be about 45 calories. But to get them, I have to go into my closet. So I have to make it a little harder. And I've got it in a bucket, and I've got to dig in the bucket. So I have to pull crap out to get there. And then I got to reach in, and it's kind of heavy, and pull it out. And then I can have my chocolate almonds. But I will tell you, I stopped that habit for a while, and they ended up back in the pantry. But ever since I started doing Mounjaro 15 weeks ago, I put my chocolate almonds in that closet. And even Jeff, he eats some of them, but look, there's still a ton of chocolate almonds left. And Jeff and I don't know, every 2 or 3 weeks we were getting another jar of almonds. But this has been 15 weeks and we're still on the original jar because I have hidden the cue. The cue is hidden. Now, if I truly have a craving where I just want a little something, I have to think about it and go, what do I have? Oh, yeah, there's those chocolate almonds. And then I have to go and dig it and find it. And so that has helped a lot. Back here. All right, let's see. Who is after Mega Losing? Maxie says, my real name is Lucy. Oh, wow. Okay, Lucy, I'll try to remember that. I remember Maxie because you're the only Maxie friend that I have named Maxie. So it's been pretty easy to remember. But Lucy is really cool. Okay, so Lucy. And Lucy says, what I took from chapter 3 is what happens as a consequence to our actions and how quickly after the action is formed or performed. Yeah, within seconds. So wait, I'm going to start from the beginning. What I took from chapter 3 is what happens as a consequence to our actions and how quickly after the action is performed determines how likely we are to repeat that action. That's right. And I'm going to take you to page. Some of you are listening to Atomic Habits is also on Audible. So some of you, instead of reading it, are listening to it, which is great. My husband, he listens to this book on his way to work and then on his way home. But he doesn't have a very long drive, only a couple of miles. So it's just a little bit of a listen, but he does that when he's driving. But you don't get to see the charts. And there is a chart on page 50. that explains, for those of you who haven't, and also for those of you who haven't read chapter 3 yet, the habit loop. And so what happens first is you have a cue. So like for me with the almonds, when I would go into, when the almonds used to be in the pantry, when I would go in the pantry to get a can of green beans, I would see the almonds, the chocolate almonds, and that would give me a cue. Immediately after the cue, you have a craving. It's really easy to imagine a craving looking at chocolate covered almonds that are delicious. So I have a craving for those chocolate almonds, and then a response. And the response is to open up that jar lid and to take out at least a couple of almonds. And then my reward is how delicious it tastes. And then it makes me want to do it again and again and again. And it's just, and it did turn into a habit. Sometimes I'd walk into the pantry and I wouldn't even think, oh, I should be eating chocolate almonds. I'd just see them and I'd think, what the heck, one or two, you know. But if you do one or two chocolate almonds, if you do 10 in a day, that's 140 calories. That's a lot more calories than just a little, a little ticket. And that's if you just did 10. You could do a lot more damage than that, and you wouldn't even feel full from it. But that creates a habit loop. And for me to break that habit loop, I had to put the cue of the chocolate almonds. I have to put it where I don't see that cue, and it's hidden in the closet. So I have to truly, truly, truly want just a little bit of something sweet. I have to think about it. I have to walk into my anchor room and go in the closet and dig down into that bucket to be able to find the little find the big container of almonds. And I'm going to also tell you what I thought was super important that I put an orange star next to. And it says, in summary, the cue triggers a craving, which motivates a response, which provides a reward, which satisfies the craving and ultimately becomes associated with the cue. And together, these 4 steps form a neurological feedback loop: cue, craving, response, reward. Cue, craving, response, reward. Cue, craving, response, reward. That ultimately allows you to create automatic habits. And this cycle is known as the habit loop. And this 4-step process is not something that happens occasionally, but rather it's an endless feedback loop that is running and active during every moment you are alive. Even now, the brain is continually scanning the environment, predicting what will happen next, trying out different responses, and learning from the results. And the entire process is completed in a split second. Um, and we use it again and again without realizing everything that's been packed into the previous moment. Wow. Wow. And that's the 4 steps. And we're going to hear about also the problem phase and solution phase as well. But I want to hear from more of you. So I'm going to read some more of your responses. So let's see. Oh, Mega Losing says, I got an Apple Watch, so it tells me to walk. It's so obvious that I'm going to hit my step goals. Yeah. And Donna says, hi, Gina. I just ordered the book through Amazon. Should receive it tomorrow. Wonderful. And you know what, Donna? After you read each chapter, you can go back because even though this is live, people can watch it on replay. And I created a playlist on my Anchor Moments YouTube channel. That's the Atomic Habits book study playlist. So you could read a chapter, then you can watch some of the things that we did in the first video, and then still type your comments in because I look for my comments every single day. It's one of my atomic habits that when I wake up first thing in the morning and I'm drinking my coffee, I like to look at my phone and see if anyone's written comments on any of my videos, and then I'll write back to them and give them a response because I'm someone who cares and I identify as someone who cares. And I want you to know that I care about you. And so I do when I'm drinking my coffee, and I never take it for granted. I appreciate every single one of you. I'm already right now worried about JP because I've seen JP for he's gone on my lives for weeks, and I haven't heard from him in a couple of weeks. I'm a little worried about JP. I wonder how JP is doing. So I really am thinking about you, especially those of you who write comments. Then I'm able to eventually get to know your names and stuff. Is the door knocking, or is that the air conditioner? Oh, must be the air conditioner. I thought maybe Jeff was going to come in. Must have been the air conditioner. He'll pop in at some point. I know he wanted to, he was running around doing a few things today, but he'll probably pop in a little bit. Okay, let's see. And for those of you, if this is your first time watching, Jeff is my husband of 34 years. He's super precious, and he's been battling bladder cancer. But we get to find out. So all of you guys that pray, we find out tomorrow. Oh my goodness.
May the 4th be with you.
Okay.
You know, this week, Saturday is May the 4th.
Oh, this coming week.
Star
So like
Wars
today's the
Star Wars Day.
Wow. So
May
next
4th.
Saturday. Okay. Yes, Jeff is also a Star, but we're an equal opportunity house. We're both Star Trek and Star Wars. Wow. Well, thank you, Jeff. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that.
I know.
Oh my
Nobody
gosh.
expects the
Nobody.
Jedi. Okay.
Hey,
Yes.
have you still been listening to Atomic Habits on your ride home?
I did listen to this chapter already, yes.
Okay, great. What are some of your takeaways of chapter 3, which is how to build the better habits in 4 simple steps, the cue, craving, response, and reward?
And you can tell me if this is right.
Okay.
But one of the things that I did this week, taking the advice of somebody last week about closing the kitchen.
Oh, that's right. Did you buy the police tape?
I did not buy a sign that said the kitchen is closed. I looked them up on Amazon.
Oh, did you?
But I didn't buy one.
Okay.
And I did not look up police tape either.
No.
Or buy one. But what I did was I decided to do it through one of the chores I do every night before I go to bed is to floss and then brush my teeth. And it's usually always been the last thing that I do every night. Mm-hmm. And after that, I don't want to floss again and brush my teeth again. So what I decided to do is my closing of the kitchen cue.
Okay.
Was the cue? I guess the cue is finishing dinner.
Yes, we're definitely going to eat dinner.
And after dinner, what I did to start that habit up was to right after dinner, floss and brush my teeth, because it just puts one more obstacle in the way of, like, I could eat more stuff at night after dinner, but then I have to brush my teeth again, and then I have to floss again. Never mind. It's just, one of the little things to build that habit that I want to build.
Ooh, very good. Yeah, and you know what's funny? Jeff flosses his teeth and then he brushes them. It says in the book. No, it says in the book that you're doing habits all day long, that you don't even realize you're doing habits. And one of your habits is what shoe you put on first and what shoe you tie first is a habit. You don't think about it. Oh, I think I'm going to tie my right shoe first today. No, you usually do whichever one it is first, and then you do the other one second. And I had to think about it. I'm like, I don't do that. And then I'm like, oh shoot, yes I do. I guess I do. We all do. I didn't even know I did it because we're not thinking about it. But
it's one of the things that lets your brain relax and not have to think of every single little thing. You can just let that be on autopilot.
Exactly. And so that way your brain can be thinking about other things that are more important. You might be planning out something that you're going to be doing at work today where you're putting on your shoes, or a conversation you need to make with a family member, or all kinds of things you could be thinking about. But while you're putting on your shoes, you're just putting on your shoes. You're not even thinking about it. But you do have a certain shoe that you put on first. And with Jeff brushing his teeth, that's funny to hear him say that he flosses his teeth first. I can't stand that. I tried it once. I heard him say that. And to me, I hate that because it feels like I put the yucky stuff back into underneath my gums. So I have to brush my teeth first clean and then I floss. But Jeff always likes to do it in reverse. So people have different cues and
Get
different
things
ways of
loosened
doing
up
things.
and then brush them away.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, we all have different ways of doing the same thing that, we're getting, well, at least our teeth are getting clean and in between our teeth, but you can do things different ways too. Anything else you caught from that chapter you want to share?
No, that was the main thing.
Was that the main thing?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me give you a kiss before you go. Thank you. And thanks for making Jeff does my thumbnails for me too. So thanks for putting my thumbnail for me together today too.
Okay.
All right.
May the fourth be with you.
Yes. Okay, let's see where I left off. Let's see. I'm about, okay, Megaluzine got her Apple Watch, and it helps her when that Apple Watch tells her to walk. And so she gets that cue and it gives her a craving. And by golly, she gets in her step goals. And Donna's getting her book. Okay, mega losing. Here we go. I thought it was interesting that habits reduce the cognitive load. Yeah, and that's what Jeff was talking about too. That it reduces your cognitive load. Absolutely. And another example they gave, when you're say it's at night and you're walking into your bedroom, and the light's off in your bedroom, you click the switch for the light to come on. You don't even really think about it. You just do it. It's automatic. But the cue is, hey, the room's dark. And then your craving is, I would like to have some light so I can see. Your response is to turn on the light switch. And then your reward is, I can see now. So rewards can be just simple things. The reward is getting rid of the craving. You took care of that craving. It could be as simple as that, or it could be a big reward that you are constantly thinking about. Here's one of the things that I did. I changed this week. I want to share this with you, and I did it actually. Yesterday is when I started this one, so it's new. If you've been on my channel, you know that I like to record the food that I'm eating. I always do better when I write down what it is I'm eating. I have a video, Track to Transform, I think was maybe my 6th week on Mounjaro. Very helpful, and it's how it helped me to lose that 47 pounds a few years ago too. When I write it down, it's better for me. But I added something since I've been reading Atomic Habits. I always write my stuff down on a notebook. And I will tell you, number one, if I don't have that notebook open and ready for me to start writing down first thing in the morning on my kitchen counter, I may or may not do it. There's like a 50-50 chance because I might be in a hurry and I just, getting my coffee really quick and breakfast really fast. And I have to leave to go somewhere and shoot out the door. And maybe I'll eat lunch someplace else, or I come home for lunch and I start doing something else. And that notebook isn't on the table. I might not get it done that day. But if I have the cue that I see the notebook, I'll write it down. Well, I started doing that cue when I started reading this book, but I added to it. So, and they'll be talking about this in a later chapter called habit stacking. I added another habit to it because I wanted to have a little bit of a better reward too, not just, oh, yay, okay, I've written everything down, but I have mini goals that I want to do every single day. And this is part of my 1%. And for me, I know that it's important that I eat at least 4 fruits or vegetables, especially when I'm not as hungry taking Mounjaro or Zepbound. That doesn't mean I need to throw nutrition out the window and just eat a little bit of garbage all day long and then lose weight because it's not as many calories, but it's still garbage in. I want to be I should, instead of saying I want to be, I'm just going to say I am. I am a healthy person. I got to get used to doing that. But a healthy person eats some fruits and vegetables. And so I make sure that I'm having at least 4 servings of fruits and vegetables. I have a square for exercise. I also record my water, and I'm shooting for at least 100 ounces of water. And that's as per my doctor, that I need at least 100 ounces of water. It'll also help. It helps with your skin, and it helps with constipation. It helps with a lot of things. And when you're taking Mounjaro or Zepbound or Ozempic, any of those, you really are supposed to have plenty. Make sure you have plenty of water. I'm shooting for 1,200 to 1,700 calories. I'm only 5 foot. I'm really 5'2.5". I rounded up for 5'3". My doctor did that for me, so I'd have a better BMI. He's so precious. So I'm average to 5'3", but I'm really 5'2.5". So I'm not very tall. And so, and I'm a woman, so I don't need a ton of calories. But I know that if I eat less than 1,200 calories consistently, my body is really great at holding on to fat, and it does not want me to starve. So I can go into starvation mode. I could eat 500 calories a day and not lose an ounce. So I know I have to be very careful, and I need at least 1,200 calories. And if I eat between 1,200 and 1,700 calories, that's a good range. So I'm shooting for that range. I'm shooting for at least 90 grams of protein, somewhere between like around 90 to 100. I could go a smidge over. I mean, I don't need to, eat half a cow or anything, but at least shoot for 90 grams of protein. So that way, when I'm losing fat, I'm not also losing muscle off my body, or at least not as much muscle. And fiber. Fiber is crazy important for me because the only really side effect I have from Mounjaro Zepbound is constipation. So I have to make sure I'm eating my fiber. And foods that have fiber generally that are high in fiber are also higher in nutrition as well, because a lot of them are your fruits and vegetables. So I'm shooting for 25 grams of fiber. And what I've done new, started yesterday, is I'm highlighting in yellow. And so, so it's a reward that I can see, that I've done it. And I'm craving to be able to highlight in yellow that I was successful in each of those areas. And I decided this morning that if I'm successful in all 4 areas with fruits and vegetables, exercise, water, calories, protein, fiber. No, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Geez, that's 6 areas. If I'm successful in all 6 areas, I'm going to give myself an orange star. And yes, I used to teach elementary school, and I always liked stickers. And I still like stickers. I'm still kind of a big kid, and I love stickers. And so it's kind of like a sticker just to quick give myself that star. And it's kind of a nice little reward. And later, my reward is I'm going to be a healthier person, and I'm going to weigh less, and hopefully have a higher quality of life, because it's going to be easier for me to exercise and move and travel and do things. So, but it's so hard when a big reward like that is something you have to wait for, because it's not just going to happen. I wish it could be, one day, if you're eating really great and you eat 1,200 calories and that's it, you're skinny that day, and you're only really overweight if you eat a bunch that day. It doesn't work that way. It takes a long time to gain it, and it takes a really long time to get it off. But I am here for the joy in the journey. And this is what I've done different this week, is making sure I'm getting my tracking done. I'm cueing it by putting it where I see first thing in the morning. And then I'm making it more attractive and more craving by being able to put some color on here and hope for a sticker at the end of the day. So that's what I'm doing differently. And I would love to hear if any of you are doing anything differently or want to start something different from what you read in chapter 3. And now I've got a whole bunch of things, and now I need to read your stuff. And I don't think I have anything else on mine. So I've got all mine out, but I definitely want to see what you guys think. So let's see. I am at and Tara Lee's here from Michigan. Yay, Tara Lee. And she's been here numerous times before. So good to see ya. And Mega Losing says, hiding them is great. Oh, I think she's talking about the chocolate almonds. And she says, hiding them is great. My sis hides my chocolate too. Yeah. And if it's hidden, then you don't see it. And then if you truly want some without having that visual cue, and then you can ask her and then she can bring you a little bit. Let's see. Raymond says, I can't get my Mounjaro anymore in my area through my pharmacy. I know it's so hard right now. I use Walmart because I'm an employee and they did a 100-mile radius, not available. Since doctors now subscribe it as a weight loss. Yeah. So I've definitely, and Raymond says now us diabetics are suffering. Yeah. It's hard because it started off in the beginning. It was for diabetics. I'm just really looking forward to, they bought a new factory in Wisconsin that's going to be coming available the first of the year. They'll be manufacturing stuff. And that Wisconsin factory that they just bought last week, that Wisconsin factory already produces vials for different injectable kind of medications. So it'll be interesting to see if they start coming out with single dose vials, even if they did it at the 2.5 milligram, just the 2.5 and the 5, that would release a lot of the plastic pens that they could fill, because it's the pens that are causing the issue, being able to make them fast enough to put the medication in. And so I'm really praying that works out and works out for everybody, because I know I was overweight for a very long time. Gosh darn it. I still might have gotten type 2 diabetes because it is in my family, but I could have kicked the can farther down the road and not gotten it as soon if I'd been at a better weight. So I know I don't blame anybody for wanting this medicine, because I would have wanted it too back in the day. But I'm really praying that they can start speeding up production a lot faster. And they're also building a factory in North Carolina that's due to become available towards the end of this year, I believe. So 2025 should be smooth sailing, hopefully, for everybody who wants it. But this year it's tough. And it's really hard as a diabetic to have your blood sugars good and then not good again. It's kind of it's not super healthy for us. So we definitely need to be working on our atomic habits for sure. Anna says, hi, Allie. Oh, hi, Anna. Actually, there is a gal with brown hair named Allie, and she's really sweet. She does Fit Flavor Fun. My name is Gina, so I'll just help you out with that. My name is Gina, and but my middle name is Alexis, Gina Alexis. So anyway, so I'll respond to hi, Allie, but my name really is Gina, but that's okay. I always give you a heart, Anna, when you say hi to me, because I just appreciate you and appreciate you watching. And Lucy's daughter, Freya, says, where are the almonds from? I get them from Costco, the chocolate covered almonds. Do you have Costco in England? I'm not sure. But that's where I get them. They're the Kirkland brand chocolate covered almonds, and they're delicious, and they're only 14 calories a piece. So it's not bad if once a day I have a couple almonds. It's horrible every time I walk past my pantry and I'm eating them all day long. Not so good. So it's just, but hidden, they're not bad to every now and again have a couple. Raymond says, it is a diabetic drug, and that's all it should be prescribed for. I know there's a lot of people who feel that way and feel your pain, Raymond. It's going to be a lot better when they finally start producing enough that they can help everybody. Freya says, yep, and we do have to remember that people taking it for weight loss are suffering too. And it and it hurts when you're overweight. You're more likely to get cancer. You're more likely to have heart attacks and strokes and need knee surgeries and so many things. It's hard. It's just hard. And I'm really excited that we're going to be proactive and we're going to start taking care of ourselves. And we're all going to get healthier. Okay. And yeah, I know, Raymond. It's so hard. And it does control your blood sugar and it controls mine too. It's awesome. Hey, Robin. Robin Lockwood says, where is Grogu? Now, that's a true Star Trek person. Grogu is Baby Yoda, and that's Baby Yoda's real name. Oh my gosh, super cute. Thanks, Robin. And it's Darium says, sending prayers and Jedi forces for Jeff's healing journey. Thanks, you guys. Hey, and Tuesday is the big day when they put the camera in Jeff's bladder. And if the cancer is gone and there's no new cancer, then we don't have to do anything for 3 months, which will be so awesome. And we're hoping that keeps happening over and over and over again. Every 3 months, they're going to go up there and look. And if there's nothing, he's good to go. But if there's something, then we got to do other treatments or surgeries and stuff. And we're really hoping and praying for none of that. We really want him to have some smooth sailing. We find that out Tuesday. And then Tuesday's my big day too, where I get to meet my oncology gynecologist to set up my hysterectomy, which will be coming up at some point here. But I'm still going to do these book studies with you. I might be laying down in bed, I don't know, or sitting in a chair versus standing up and chatting with you. But I'm still going to go on Mounjaro Mondays. If I can take my shot or not, I get to find that out on Tuesday too, how long I have to not take it before my surgery. And if there's any time after my surgery, I have to wait because of the constipation that comes with the pain meds. And Lucy likes Jeff's ideas that he's going to do this week. Awesome. And Robin says, oops, Jedi Jeff. And Megalosing says, that's great. And Tara Lee says, Jeff is cracking me up. Oh my gosh, I know. He is such a funny guy. I love that guy. I never know what he's going to do. It's always a surprise to me too. Jennifer Todd says, hi from New Orleans. Wow. You know what? I want to go to New Orleans one day. It's on my bucket list. So sometime I might have to look you up. We also got an RV last summer, a van that's converted on the inside. Jeff's retiring July 1st and we want to start traveling. So we definitely need him to be healthy and me to be healthy. But one day we want to go to New Orleans and maybe we'll be able to look you up, Jennifer, and meet you at a restaurant or something for fun. WD-40. Hey, WD-40. WD-40 says, God bless you both. And Candy said something but changed her mind. And Lucy says, off topic slightly, but what you said, Gina, about our bodies not wanting to shed weight fat easily is a genetic thing. Yes, it is. So we inherit our propensity to gain and lose weight. And that is absolutely true. And that's why there are some health insurance now and why Mounjaro is called Zepbound, because there are a lot of us who are born with the propensity to gain weight and to hold on to our weight and for it to be harder to lose. And once we do lose, because we can lose for a while, but I liked how it was explained on the Oprah special, that it's like being held underwater. And when you're in the zone and you're doing everything you can to lose weight and you're starting to lose weight, it's like you're being held underwater. And then the second that your head pops up to breathe, and you go on vacation, or you have a holiday, or you have a surgery and you can't exercise or whatever, the weight comes back on you at an incredibly fast rate, faster than it does on regular people who've lost some weight and then go off and have a week of whatever. I mean, it was crazy. That 8 pounds that I gained in a week on vacation, they were a solid 8. It wasn't the day I got home that I weighed myself. I know to weigh myself about 3 days later and try to eat a little bit better for 3 days and then step on the scale. And it was 8 solid pounds. Wait, no, it wasn't 8 solid pounds. It was 11 pounds in 8 days. It was 11 solid pounds. And when I had lost 47 and then 11 back on, I can't tell you how discouraging and disappointing that was. And then it was hard, and it messed up my my cue craving reward. Um, cue craving response reward. It messed up my cycle big time, and then it was just easier to go back to the old habits and thinking I'll do my new better habits later, and just hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's not easy. And I'm never going to lie to you and say it's easy. It's not easy. Even if you take the medications, you still it's still it's still a challenge. You still have to do the work. And I know some people who take the medication and they're not losing weight. And those that has happened to, and some of them are diabetic, where their blood sugar numbers are getting a little better, but they're not losing the weight because they still have to change the habits. They need, and so this book I think would be really, really good for all of them too. But it's hard. It's not easy. It's hard, but we can do it together. And it's always easier when you do it with friends. And it makes me just super happy to have you all here, because you make it easier for me because I have extra friends that I can talk about it that are on this same kind of journey. Luce, let's see. Yes. And then Anna says, so sorry. Hi, Gina. Yep. No worries, Anna. I just appreciate that you're always so friendly and kind. And Lucy says, if our ancestors often lived through periods of food scarcity, it's a survival response for our bodies. Bless them, are trying their best to keep us alive. They are. They are. I have mentioned that. So seriously. And if I go, I've done it before, 500 calorie, about 500 to 800 calories in a day. And I started losing weight. And so it was great. And it was coming off and it was coming off. And then it froze. And I was still starving. I was hungry in the morning. I was hungry in the afternoon. I was hungry in the evening, but I was eating my 500 to 800 calories and I couldn't get the weight off. It stalled. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. But my body is set. So if we were ever truly in a famine, I would live. I'd be one of those people who would live. But I'm not in a famine, and I don't need to be this heavy anymore. Definitely got to work on getting it off. And Anna says, prayers for both of you. Thank you so much, Anna. And Lucy says, I think my ancestors must have been medieval peasants. Crops failed, starving. Worry ye not. We'll slow that metabolism right down and keep you plump as a partridge. Yep, me too. We'd be alive. We'd make it. We would make it, Lucy. Okay, does anybody else have anything you'd like to share about the book? Okay, there's 2 more things in the chapter that we haven't mentioned yet that I have in my notes that I want to be sure that I point out. So we went over cue, craving, reward, and response. And it creates that. And the habit is when it loops over and over again. Now, if you have a cue and a craving, but you don't respond to it, then it breaks the loop and then it doesn't become a habit. Also, uh, problem phase and solution phase. I need to talk about that because I want to be able to show you what that looks like for those of you who do the book on Audible. Well, on page 51 too. So problem phase. So when you see that there's a problem, you see a cue for the problem and you may get a craving. And then you've got to wonder, how am I going to take care of this problem? And then the solution phase is you respond to the problem and you get a reward. So all behavior is driven by the desire to solve a problem. Sometimes the problem is that you notice something good and you want to obtain it. Sometimes the problem is that you are experiencing pain and you want to relieve it. Either way, the purpose of every habit is to solve the problems you face. And then on page 52 and 53, they give you, and I don't know if they read this to you. Lucy, I know you were doing it by listening. Did they share what was in the graph? Like, here's one that a lot of us, I can't say everybody, but probably most of us. Problem, there's a cue. Your phone buzzes with a new text message. Craving, you want to learn the contents of the message. That's the problem. And you know what? It is a problem if you're in the middle of a meeting or you're in the movie theater. That could be a problem. You're wondering, I wonder what is in that message. The solution is you grab your phone and read the text. That's the response. And the reward is you satisfy your craving to read the message. Grabbing your phone becomes associated with your phone buzzing. And here's one that I thought was interesting too. Problem phase, solution phase. You hit a stumbling block on a project at work. You feel stuck and want to relieve your frustration. You pull out your phone and check social media. Reward. You satisfy your craving to feel relieved. Checking social media becomes associated with feeling stalled at work. Isn't that interesting? I know I'm a writer and I need to write more. I do have a blog on anchormoments.com and I haven't written in a while because I've been mostly writing comments back to you guys on my videos and I love it. And it does help me to get practice writing, but I need to be doing some more blogs. And so I'm going to be doing some more blogs in the future. But sometimes when I'm going to write a blog, I'll write a little bit, or when I was working on writing my Anchor Moments Hope, Healing, and Forgiveness book, I'll write for a little bit and then I'm not quite sure when I want to write next. And it's so tempting to just pick up my phone and go on Facebook for a little bit, to relax and then go back on and try to write again. So I can relate to that. Let's see what else. Well, here's what a lot of us do. Cue, you wake up. You want to feel, so your cue is you wake up. Your craving, you want to feel alert. That's me a lot. Your response, you drink a cup of coffee. Your reward, you satisfy your craving to feel alert. Drinking coffee becomes associated with waking up. How simple is that? So anyway, so those were some problem phase and solution phase. Most of us never give a second thought to the fact, what I told you guys about, we tie in the same shoe first thing in the morning, or unplug the toaster after each use, or always change into comfortable clothes after getting home from work. After decades of mental programming, we automatically slip into these patterns of thinking and acting. And that's one of the things Jeff does. The first second he comes home from work, he says hi to me as he's running to the bedroom to change out of his clothes into something more comfortable. He says he's changing out of his something of servitude gosh, I can't remember exactly how he says it, but he says it every day when he comes home from work. Now the last part, and it's a biggie, the 4 laws of behavior change. And you guys, they're going to go into this deeply, each of these 4 laws in different chapters coming up. And if anyone wants to read ahead, that's fine. But I'm only going to go do a deep dive of the current chapter each week, because I know it's going to help me better to do a deep dive. So I really take all of this in and make positive changes and become the best version of myself and the healthiest version of myself. So I'm going to do a deep dive each week, but let me tell you, this is huge. The 4 laws of behavior change. And it provides a simple set of rules of creating good habits and breaking bad ones. And you can think of each law as a lever that influences human behavior. When the levers are in the right positions, creating good habits is effortless. When on the wrong ones, it's nearly impossible. So here's how to create a good habit. The first law is the cue. You got to make it obvious. Like for me, I've got to put my notebook up, and see, I haven't had my lunch yet, but I've had my breakfast already, and I already put my little squares, and I'm ready to go. And it is on. Well, I brought it in here because I also put my notes in here as well. But cue, I got to make it obvious. It's got to be right where I see it first thing in the morning to make sure that I'm writing my stuff down. Second law, craving. I got to make it attractive. Now, you've got to do it in such a way that you're gonna want to crave something and make it attractive. Some people like to have fancy notebooks that they write things in, and it makes writing more fun for them because they're using a fancy notebook, and so it makes it more attractive and it feels good. I used to teach school, and I just love these spiral-bound notebooks. I know it's crazy, but I just do. And so just having it be the spiral-bound notebook for me makes it attractive. Number 3, you have response. You have to make it easy. I have to have a pen. That's another thing. If I can't find a pen, that's a problem. So I have to have a pen next to my notebook because I have to make it easy. Now, Jeff, he likes using my Fitness Pal. To him, that's easier. That's more attractive to him. That's more fun for him and rewarding for him. He likes technology. He's always got his phone with him wherever he goes. And my Fitness Pal has a free version, and he likes my Fitness Pal for writing his stuff down. For me, I'm a little clunky and I'm not as tech savvy. And I would get more frustrated with my Fitness Pal for me. And sometimes, because I'm having to look up, I don't know, there's a bazillion flavors of sausages or whatever, and I'm trying to find my particular flavor of sausage that I want to put in there. That's frustrating for me. It's easier for me to just write on the piece of paper, sausage. And all I want to know is how much protein, how does it have any fiber in it, and what are the calories? And it's just easier for me. But for Jeff, it's easier for him to use his phone app. It's based on whatever is the best for you. But you definitely want to make it easy. And then the reward, make it satisfying. And for me, it is more satisfying. I just discovered today, which is so stupid. I should have known. Silly, but I like putting that orange star, knowing that I did all 6 of my targets that I'm shooting for each day. And if I reach it, I'm going to give myself a little orange star. And that's, I don't know, it's a little reward, but it makes me smile inside. And then later, it'll be a bigger reward on the scale. Okay, we can invert these laws to learn how to break a bad habit. Inversion of the first law, cue, make it invisible. Like my chocolate almonds, hiding it in the closet. So I'm not seeing it all the time. So I'm not getting extra cues when I'm not even hungry. Inversion of the second law, craving, make it unattractive. Any way that you can make it unattractive, think about something like that. I've had someone say that there was something that they really liked. I can't remember what it was, but it was some food that was a red light food for them, that food was in the house. They were constantly wanting it. And so they had to imagine something disgusting happening to that food. And then when they think about it being disgusting, it made them not crave it so much anymore. So I don't know. So maybe that'd be like a thing to make it unattractive. Inversion of the third law, response, make it difficult. And for me, it's more difficult to have to come back in here, open up the closet, put my head down in the bucket, reach to try to find my thing of chocolate almonds. It makes it harder. So make it more difficult. And inversion of the fourth law, reward. Oh, and make it unsatisfying. So you have to think about something to make something unsatisfying. So that way you'll break that bad habit. I don't know. Does anyone have any ideas for that? I'm not sure what I would do for that. Let's see if anyone has any ideas on that. Lucy says, no, they don't share the tables, but direct you to the website to look at them. Oh, okay. Because I was wondering how they did that, because you can't see the tables. And Lucy says, I need to do that. Yeah, because the tables are really good. And there's usually at least one table for each chapter. Dawn says, I'm listening on YouTube. It didn't do the chart on the one I'm listening to. Oh, okay. So someone's reading the book on YouTube and then you can just listen to it that way. That's pretty cool. All right. So if some of you don't have the book yet, you could look for that and listen to it. Robin says, I got to read and catch up. I'm painting and using muscles I forgot I had. I just wanted to make sure I got in here to hear your live chat. And guess what, Robin? I bet you're going to be losing extra weight this week too, because that's exercise. And that's exercise you don't even think of when you're doing all that painting up and down and up and down and up and down. And you know what's hard to do? Eat while you're painting. So it also gives you something else to do instead of eating. I wonder if that is, that would make eating unsatisfying because you're painting. So you're not going to want to eat while you're painting and you're smelling the paint and stuff. I would think that would make eating unsatisfying while you're doing the act of painting. And that'll be really great. That's going to show up wonderful for you on the scale later. And let's see. Lucy says they kind of verbally describe them, but that's not the same thing as seeing in a book. That is true. Robin says, my craving is that dragon fruit. I can't have as much as I want to, though. Yeah, if you eat too much dragon fruit, woo! But I love dragon fruit, especially the yellow dragon fruit. The yellow dragon fruit is sweeter and it really helps you be regular. It's full of fiber and a lot of good antioxidants and that kind of thing. They have it in pink and yellow, and pink dragon fruit right now today is at my Walmart grocery section. In my Walmart has dragon fruit, and I've heard that it's people have found it at Target, and some people have found it at their regular grocery stores too. It's harder to find the yellow dragon fruit, and my Costco just stopped selling the yellow, and they only have the pink at the moment. But when I could tell they had the pink and there was very few containers left of the yellow, I stocked up on some and they're in my fridge right now, and I'm hoping they don't rot by the time I get to the last one. But yeah, I'm craving that dragon fruit too, but I'll never have two in a day. My friend, the Countess of Shopping, I watch her videos a lot. And that's where I first found out about dragon fruit. And when she described it, she said she had a container of 3 and thought, oh, I've never had dragon fruit before. They look so good. And she ate it and went, oh, this is delicious. And she ate all 3 in a sitting. And she said she had more diarrhea than she ever had in her entire life. And I thought, hey, I've been having issues with constipation. I bet if I had 1 dragon fruit and not 3, but if I had just 1, I wonder if that'd do the trick. And by golly, I have it in the evening. So that way, first thing in the morning, I am taken care of. So that dragon fruit is really awesome while it's still around and in season. Let's see. Lucy says, removing obstacles to make it as easy as possible to do the desired behavior. Yeah, you got to remove obstacles. Like for me with my notebook, I better have a pen next to my notebook. So first thing in the morning, I'm writing my stuff down. You want to remove any obstacles. Make it easy for yourself. In due time, hi, in due time. In due time writes, I write everything in my notes or journal on my iPhone. Yeah. And it's right there, and you have your phone with you, and you could just write it all down. That's a good idea too. Robin says, I'm with Jedi Jeff. It's easier for me to use Fitness Pal than to write it down. Yeah, then use my Fitness Pal. It's awesome. Candy says, I like the Lose It app. Oh, I heard that's a good one too, Candy. And Dawn says, yes, there are several different readers on YouTube. I don't care for the AI voices ones, but the human one I like. Well, that's good to know that there's even options, you guys. That's great. And if you're on YouTube, that's free. Candy says you could go for a walk. Yeah. And going for a walk, that's an obstacle too. It's hard. It's hard to eat while you're walking. So you can go for a walk, get yourself out of the house, especially in the evening. If you're Jeff, I tease him sometimes and call him Mr. Crunch and Munch because, oh my gosh, when he comes home from work, if he's not in the zone and working on eating healthy, he can eat all night long and just one thing after another, crunching. And I'm always on the seafood diet. I get all those cues, and if I see food, I want it. But if I don't see it, I'm okay. And going for a walk that after dinner, that helps a lot of ways. One, you're getting away from the refrigerator and the pantry, and two, you're getting some exercise in. So yeah, going for a walk is great, and it makes an obstacle for over snacking in the evening. Donna says, sometimes to make things unsatisfying, I think if I have that 100-calorie bar, for example, I have to walk 20 minutes on the treadmill, which sometimes I don't want to do. Haha. That is a perfect example. So that's how you can make something unsatisfying. All right, if I'm going to eat these 10 chocolate almonds for 140 calories, I've got to do 140 calories worth of exercise to take that off. Huh. In due time says, I only like yellow dragon fruit. Yeah, yellow dragon fruit's a lot sweeter. It's much tastier than the pink. The pink's prettier, but the yellow is definitely sweeter and tastier. I only like yellow dragon fruit, but they're so expensive, $4.99 for one. That's why I like Costco. Costco had them for $5.99, and you got 3 of them. So they were like $2 a piece, which is still not cheap, but gosh, they're so tasty. And it was so nice to have the constipation relief without needing a stool softener or Miralax. Not that that's bad either. My doctor said I could do a stool softener or Miralax every day. It doesn't bother the medications that I'm on. That for me, I could do that. But I prefer if I can do something naturally first, I want to go the natural route when I can. And then when that doesn't do the trick, then throw in a little stool softener or something. Dawn says, can you freeze dragon fruit? Yes. Have I frozen it myself? No. But I have got an itty bitty little, I call it a mini, I call it Small Mart. So I've got a really small Walmart that's like a little, they call it a neighborhood store. So it's like really tiny. And they don't sell clothes or anything. It's just food, and it's smaller. And at that Walmart, they have dragon fruit in the freezer section, but it is the pink dragon fruit. It's not the yellow. So it's not as tasty, but you could throw it in a smoothie and, and then maybe that would make it a little bit tastier and sweeter because you throw a banana or something with it in a blender, maybe some yogurt. Lucy says, they say cravings go after 20 minutes. So maybe find something to do for 20 minutes. Yeah, such as clearing out a drawer or box of stuff, and then see how you feel. The time and distraction might just do the job, and you'll feel better because things will get cleaner. And I need to be working on that some more too. And Lucy also says, we do have Costco. Really? We do have Costco in the UK. There are only about 15 stores nationwide. Our nearest is 70 miles away, which is good though, I think. Yeah, because oh my gosh, it's so fun to go to Costco, and they have new stuff every day. Uh, and so sometimes you spend a little extra because you'll see a couch that you want, or, things that you're not even thinking of. But, oh, great. All right. Well, um, let's see. I was going to say a couple things else here to give you an opportunity if someone else has something else they want to share. Um, let's see. On Atomic Habits, they say that these laws can be used almost no matter what challenge you're facing. There's no need for completely different strategies for each habit. Whenever you want to change your behavior, you simply ask yourself, number one, how can I make it obvious? Number two, how can I make it attractive? Number three, how can I make it easy? And number four, how can I make it satisfying? Your habits are shaped by the systems in your life. And in the chapters that follow, we will discuss these laws one by one and show how you can use them to create a system in which good habits emerge naturally and bad habits wither away. Isn't that awesome? All right, I'm going to look. Let's see. I don't have any new comments. All right, everybody. I want you to have a great week. I'm going to try to figure out how to do a poll in my community tab. Those of you who'd like me to stick with doing it at 1:00 on Sundays, on most Sundays that I can do it, I'll give you an opportunity to say that. And if you prefer it later, I will give you the opportunity to say that as well, and we'll go by majority vote. But if we do go for the later, I will every now and again. I want to give my UK friends a chance to do it live. It was so fun to have Lucy and her daughter on. And so every now and again, I'm still going to try to help out the UK. But I'm going to give you guys an opportunity to vote, and because I want to do what works best for most of you. And I appreciate you all so much. You just don't know what it means to me. It means so much. It means the world to me to have you here, and to be working on this journey together, and to give each other ideas like the I won't eat 100-calorie thing. That's a treat unless I'm going to walk on the treadmill for 20 minutes. Well, then you really got to think about it. And if you do walk on the treadmill for 20 minutes, it's not so bad that you ate the treat, because you're going to burn that off. But maybe you're tired. You don't feel like doing the treadmill. So you're like, you'll not have that 100-calorie treat, and that'll help you again later on the scale, which is awesome. And Lucy says, we really loved it, Gina. Thank you. And she gave me some hugs. And Terry Lee says, thank you. And In Due Time says, thank you, Gina. Despite all that you're going through with health, you're an inspiration. Oh, thank you. We are here for you. I look forward to our next session. Me too. So I will seeing tomorrow is Mounjaro Monday. And there's going to be some updates with Eli Lilly, I believe. So I'm going to be looking for that. So I always research stuff during the day for you guys, so I can have some good things to chat with you about, other than just having you watch me get my shot. So there'll be more stuff tomorrow on Mounjaro Monday. And I look forward to doing this book study, chapter 4, with you next Sunday. And I'm going to figure out how to do the technology to do a poll. So be looking for that poll. I should do it while Jeff's home today. So I'll try to do that later today. I'll put the poll up, and that'll decide what time we're going to go on next Sunday. And everyone, have a great week, and I'll see a lot of you tomorrow. And when I do my live, which I never could say exactly what time, because Jeff works on Monday, so it's whenever he gets home and then does my thumbnail. But it'll be sometime tomorrow evening. Have a great night. Bye-bye. I don't know how to end this. It's not ending. That's so funny. Huh. It doesn't want to end. Hey, but I have someone else saying goodbye. Lucy's saying bye, and her daughter Freya's saying bye. That's sweet. And I can't, my thing is frozen. There we go. Your stream will stop immediately, and you'll no longer be live. Okay. All right. Bye. Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow.